What's up guys, Tarby here and welcome to the Minecraft beta for the 1.16 Nether update. In this video I will be giving you a complete guide to the 1.16 Nether update, including the biomes we're going to see, the mobs we're going to see, Bastions, Nether portals, some new blocks, items and any other features and changes we can fit in the video. So let's jump straight into it. To start things off, we have 4 new biomes in the Nether. We have the Basalt Delta biome, the Crimson Forest biome, the Warp Forest biome, and the Soul Sand Valley. We'll be starting in the Basalt Delta biome. The Basalt Delta biome is a large volcanic biome filled with basalt and blackstone, which we'll get onto later in the video. There is basalt magma blocks all over the place with lava everywhere. It is also the home of gas, some magma cubes, and striders. Striders we'll get onto later in the video. I personally really like the Basalt Delta biome. I like how corrupt it looks and I like the fog texture you get while going through it. Overall I can see this being an extremely challenging biome to go through on survival, which I think this update's tried to do is try to make the Nether a bit more scary and a bit more challenging, which is well needed because it's been the same for years now. Here is another example of a Basalt Delta biome. As you can see, the exact same, but there's magma cubes absolutely everywhere. This really will be a challenge to go through, and yeah, I just love this biome. Moving on now to the Soul Sand Valley. Personally, I think this Soul Sand Valley is the most dangerous as it is littered with skeletons, endermen, and mainly ghasts. You go in survival and you go on hard, the ghast absolutely everywhere. One thing to notice about this biome, there's basalt pillars coming up from the ground to the ceiling. Another thing about this biome is the fire, it burns blue. This is because it is placed on soul sand or soul soil, but we'll get onto that later in the video. This is a bit of a game changer for people who are ridiculously good at building and have wanted a different texture for the fireplaces or lanterns. This is the one for you. Another cool thing about the Soul Sand Valleys is they are now spawning Nether fossils, which are bone blocks placed in a fossil shape, which adds kind of a uniqueness for bone blocks which we hadn't seen before this update. And yeah, overall the biome again is pretty cool. On to the next biome, there is the Warp Forest biome, which is personally my favourite biome. I really like this biome, it's like a bunch of blue raspberry mushrooms everywhere, all lit up, and it just looks magical. Very exciting. Okay, I'll stop fantasising about blue raspberries now, but on a serious note, this biome is sick. As you can see, the Warp Forest is filled with these blue trees, glowstone, you've got your twisted vines, which are a new vine you can climb, you've got lava, fungi, which is a type of mushroom, and loads of other blocks we'll get into more detail later on. Mobs that spawn here, you've got the endermen and striders, which striders again we'll talk about soon. I keep saying we'll talk about the striders soon, but honestly I'm not lying, we will talk about them soon, I promise. So yeah, that's the Warp Forest. I'm looking forward to making a survival base here in one of them blue trees. And now moving on to its counterpart, which is the Crimson Forest, which is very similar to the Warp Forest. It's just crimson. Okay, so they're not the exact same, but they are very similar. The Crimson Forest is different in the way that everything is crimson, like I've said. The twisted vines, which you can climb, are swapped for weeping vines, which again, you can climb. The big difference about this biome is it spawns 3 of the 4 new mobs. These 3 mobs are the zombified piglin, the piglin, and the hoglin. We'll move on to mobs next and give you a thorough detail of them. At the end of the day, both of the forests are quite similar, but in terms of biomes, I'm really happy with the 4 new biomes and I think they all look great and unique in their own way. I think these are great additions for a dimension that needed just a little bit more variety, and now we've got it. So next up we're going to talk about the 4 new mobs in the game. I suppose technically there's 5. There's the strider, there's the piglin, the zombified piglin, the hoglin, and the zoglin. We'll start by talking about the piglin. So the piglin is a new hostile mob which spawns in Crimson Forest and a Nether Waste biome. The Nether Waste biome is just a typical Nether biome we've all gotten used to throughout the years. They can spawn with a gold sword or a crossbow, and one thing that's very important about piglins is they love gold. And when I say they love gold, I mean they are literally obsessed with it. With the piglins being hostile, they will attack you on sight, but if you're wearing 1 piece of gold armour, they will not attack you. Another thing you can do with the piglins' addiction for gold is you can give them 1 gold ingot, and they will give you something in return. Whether that's crying obsidian, a soul speed book, they can give you a lot of stuff. Be careful around piglins though, because even if you are wearing a piece of gold armour, if you mine a piece of gold, they will turn hostile and attack you. They also turn into a zombified piglin when they're taken into the overworld, which the zombified piglin replaces our zombie pigmen we're used to. Another cool fact about them is they do attack wither skeletons. I don't know whether someone's genius enough to make a farm out of that, but that would be really, really cool. In terms of bartering with piglins, I tried this numerous times, and this is the loot I got. It's all very similar, but it's all pretty handy as well. Next up, we have hoglins. Hoglins again are a hostile mob, which means they will attack you, and with their 20 hearts of health, they will be hard to take down. In my opinion, they kind of look like an evil version of Eeyore off Winnie the Pooh. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Is that a fair comparison? Okay, moving on. The hoglins themselves can actually be bred with crimson fungi from the Crimson Forest, which means they can make for quite a cool farm, as they do drop raw pork chop and leather when killed, or obviously cooked pork chop when killed with flame. A fun fact about the hoglin is they do actually avoid warped fungi, portals and respawn anchors. They just genuinely avoid them. So if you're planning on taking a hoglin back through a nether portal, then you need to get them on a lead. But one thing you need to consider when taking a hoglin through a nether portal is they do change. They change into a zoglin. So a zoglin is a zombified version of a hoglin. When through a nether portal, the hoglin will take about 10 to 15 seconds to convert into a zoglin, and then when it turns into a zoglin, it will just attack anyone. Yep, anything it sees, it will just attack. In fact, the only two other mobs they don't attack are other zoglins and creepers. If you want to kill a zoglin, hit it with a smite sword, as they are considered an undead mob. As you can see here, the zoglin is going to attack pretty much everything. I'll put passive mobs and hostile mobs in this fenced area, and then the zoglin is going to attack all of them. So yeah, the chaos. Now this is a game changer. This is our final new mob, which is called a Strider. Yes, that's right, we're actually going to talk about the Strider. Gotta save the best till last. So the Strider is a new passive mob which spawns in the lava. In fact, when a Strider leaves the lava, it goes blue and starts to shake like it's ill. So I'll just keep them at the lava at all times, keep these things happy, they're sick. The Strider will actually take damage from water and rain. You can breed these guys with warped fungi found in the warped forest. If you are going to kill a Strider, please don't, but if you do, they drop string, so there's no point anyway. If you want string, just go build a spider farm. Trust me, a spider will be nowhere near as useful to you as these Striders will. So with a Strider, you can craft a warped fungus on a stick, put a saddle on it, and yes, you can ride them across the lava. This is practically a lava boat. This is cool. Next up, it's time to talk about the two new structures we have with this update. The two new structures we have are broken nether portals and bastions. We'll start off by talking about bastions. I do apologise in advance, as we've had to hire the brightness up massively so you can actually see these things. Now this is a bastion. Bastions generate in all biomes we've seen so far, apart from Basalt Delta biome. Bastions have 4 parts to their structure. They have bridge, stable, housing and treasure rooms. These bastions are home of the piglins. So as you can imagine, they are littered with gold and loot chests. Obviously don't mind the gold and loot chests in front of piglins because they will kill you. I actually managed to find a few bastions in this netherworld, but I'll just showcase the 2 that I thought were the best. The bastions themselves are the only way to obtain the new CD that is out and the piglin banner pattern. The bastion loot normally contains gold, as you can imagine, but they also contain new netherite tools. I'll put a picture on the screen of all the loot you can get from these chests. These may be difficult to navigate in survival, but I do believe the loot in there is quite good. This is another example of a bastion I found. This one is slightly more impressive than the last one. You can see there's 2 big structures here of a bridge connecting. If you go onto the bridge here and through this sort of oval, you get down into the treasure room. Now obviously I'm in creative, so it's very easy, but in survival it'll be quite difficult. At the bottom of the treasure room there's a magma cube spawner, so yes, we can now make magma cube farms. And in this chest there's 2 netherite tools and armour and gold. And same again in this one, some netherite tools and gold. We'll get onto netherite later in the video, but as you can see, these places are littered with gold. Moving on now to our second new structure you'll find in this update, we have broken nether portals. This is a broken nether portal in the overworld, so you can see it. As you can see, they spawn in with a gold block, and they also come with a loot chest for you. Loot chest contains again gold tools, gold apples, the same sort of loot we're used to seeing by now with this update. So we're actually going to try and fix this nether portal. They don't actually take you anywhere special when you go through them, they just generate randomly in the nether. Here's me failing over again to do a nether portal, because yes, I am that useless. You know, it took me ages to realise what I'd done wrong here. There we go. After that slightly embarrassing moment, as you can see, we spawned in a crimson forest. Nowhere special, nothing at the end of the tunnel. If you've downloaded this beta or one of the snapshots, let me know if you've been through a broken nether portal and where is the coolest place it has brought you out. I'd love to hear about that. Broken nether portals can actually spawn underwater as well. I don't have a clue how you're going to light one of these things, but I'm sure someone will. Again, the spawn with the gold blocks, you'll always have a loot chest there. You'll have your obsidian with your crying obsidian as well. And this is just a broken nether portal in the nether as well, so you can just see all the different places that they'll spawn in. Some of them are quite tricky with lava around them, but there's always gold and loot chests, so it is worth your time. These broken nether portals will spawn randomly in the overworld and in the nether. Moving on now to the new items and blocks. As you can see, there is a lot. So bear with me, we'll try and go through everyone in the best way we can, and we'll have a look at some changes to the game afterwards. Starting off, we'll start with netherite. Netherite is the new god tier. It is one better than diamond. What I mean by this is more efficient and has better durability than diamond. So diamond is now the second best tool and armor on the game. To get netherite, you need ancient debris, which you find in the nether. Put it in a furnace, you get a netherite scrap. Now you need 4 netherite scraps and 4 gold ingots to make 1 netherite ingot. This sounds quite easy, but trust me, the ancient debris is really hard to find in the nether. And the main problem with ancient debris is it will always spawn surrounded by rocks or by lava. So with your netherite ingot, you can upgrade any diamond tool. What you've got to do is you get your diamond tool and your netherite ingot, and you put it into a smithing table. Yes, smithing tables do actually have a function now. Show you again with the armor. I've got a diamond chestplate here, and now I've got a netherite chestplate. You can also enchant these, as you can see, +1 attack damage on the sword, and what a sword that would be. And here it is showcased for you. Netherite can actually be made into blocks and used for a beacon, and you can use your netherite ingot to power the beacon. I do not recommend this because this is really expensive and you may as well just use iron blocks. But then again, I guess it is a bit of a flex. One of the coolest things about netherite is it does not burn in lava. Yep, you can die in lava, your stuff will go, but this will not. As you can see here, I'm going to throw my armor and my tools in this lava, it just bounces about on fire, and then just comes straight back out. Apart from the sword, which is having a dance. And then you can just go and pick it up. Just like that. Sweet. Netherite armor also comes with +1 knockback resistance, so we're going to try this here. I've got full diamond armor, I'm going to get hit by a skeleton. As you can see, I'm getting hit back 2 blocks or more every time. It took me 3 goes to get to the end. We're going to try again with netherite armor and get the skeleton to shoot us. As you can see, we're going back 1.5 blocks or so every time, and it took us 5 hits to get to the end. This is me showing trying to get ancient ore in the nether. It is very difficult. I was strip mining for quite a while in different places, but eventually on number 16 on the axis I got this. I was very happy, very happy. You need to mine this with a diamond pickaxe or a netherite pickaxe. Next new block we have is basalt, which you've seen in the basalt delta biome. Basalt can be made into a polished version with a stone cutter. And it can also be placed sideways, kind of similar to logs. With this basalt, you can actually make a basalt generator. What you need is blue ice and lava bucket, and this needs to be on top of soul sand or soul soil. Place your packed ice at one end and your lava at the other, and it will generate basalt in the middle. Next new item we have is the new piglin banner, which can only be found in Bastions. As you can see, it looks like a pig's nose, pretty cool. Another new item which can only be found in a Bastion is a new CD. The CD is pretty cool, it's unique to anything we've had before. I mean, just listen to it. Next new block we're going to look at is Blackstone. Blackstone looks really, really nice, especially the one with the pig's nose on it. This spawns in Basalt Delta biomes, has multiple variants as you can see, polished version, cracked version, slabs, walls, they're all here. Fun fact about Blackstone, it can actually be used instead of cobblestone for tools, and you can actually use this for furnaces as well. Moving on now to Gilded Blackstone. Gilded Blackstone can be found in Bastions. When mined, it either drops the block or it does have a chance to drop gold nuggets as well. This can drop up to 24 gold nuggets. Show you a little experiment now. As you can see, it drops the block more often than not, but it can drop them nuggets eventually. Moving on to two new blocks, we've got the chiseled and cracked nether brick. Chiseled nether brick looks really, really cool. You make this by putting two nether brick slabs together. And for the cracked version, you want to smelt a nether brick block. Next up we have crimson blocks. In front of me I've got a crimson stem which can be placed like any sort of wood block. It can be stripped. One good thing about crimson is it will not burn when set on fire. There's loads of different variants. You've got the door, the trap door, the stairs, the slabs. Yeah, you get it. And on the right we've got blocks that you'll find in a crimson forest, including the weeping vines, which you can climb, which could make for some interesting tree builds. Fun fact about crimson nylium, which is basically like crimson grass. If you put netherrack next to it and then bone meal the netherrack, it'll turn it into crimson nylium. As we said earlier, crimson and warped are very similar, and that's the same with the blocks. Same sort of attributes, you can do the same things with it. All the wooden variants, all really nice colours. And here's just a few blocks you'll see in the warp forest, including vines. These are the twisted vines, again, you can climb. Moving on to crying obsidian, you'll have seen these throughout for the broken nether portals. As you can see, the block itself is called crying obsidian because it is obsidian, but it looks like it's crying. You can barter with piglins to get this as well, and it's got the same blast resistance as obsidian. The best thing about crying obsidian is if you get 6 of them and 3 glowstone, you can make a respawn anchor. Now, a respawn anchor, it sets the spawn point for you in the nether, which is really, really, really cool. One thing you don't want to do though is try using them in the end of the world because they explode. Yes, I learnt this the hard way. As you can see, go into the nether, put a respawn anchor, put your glowstone in there. I now have 4 respawns in the nether. So I'll change my mode over to survival, and I'll go jump in lava. There's my netherite armor from before. If I die, I'll respawn at the respawn anchor. Next up is nether gold ore. You've probably seen this throughout the video. It is gold ore which spawns in the nether, which again adds a bit more value to gold. I'll get my netherite pickaxe here, and a nether fortune one. Drops 2 to 4 gold nuggets, but if you use a fortune pickaxe, it can actually drop up to 24, similar to gilded blackstone. Just adds another meaning for mining in the nether. One massive change about this update is hoes are now quite useful. You can now enchant hoes with silk touch, mending, efficiency, and even fortune. And as you can see here, we've got sponge, hay bales, shroom lights, and look how quick it mines them. Again, I'll put a list on the screen of all the blocks the hoe is useful for. Next up, we have the lodestone. Now, I'm quite gutted because at the moment the lodestone is not in Minecraft Bedrock. If you place a lodestone and hit it with a compass, the compass will always point to the lodestone, which is really, really cool, and I hope they add this to Minecraft Bedrock. Furthermore, we've got a new quartz block. This is a quartz brick, which is made of 4 blocks of quartz. Next up, we've got the new soul fire, which burns blue, as you've seen in the soul sand valley. So oh wow, trust the slime to show up now. Unsure where that slime went actually. Oh well, what a shame. So yeah, the soul fire burns blue when placed on soul sand and soul soil. You can do this as well with flint and steel. If you collect soul sand or soul soil, you can use them to make soul lanterns, soul campfires and soul torches, which are all really cool but all give off a bit less light than the counterparts. But they all do look really cool and can make some really unique builds. Fun fact about the campfire, as well as it looking really, really cool, you can use warp stems as well to make it. If you also go under the campfire and place a hay bale, you can see both of the smokes go to the same level. Put a hay bale under it, and you can see the soul campfire will make the smoke go a lot higher. This is a cool feature and adds a bit more to hay bales. Moving on, we now have a new enchantment called Soul Speed. Soul Speed can only be obtained by partnering with Pigment or in Bastions. You cannot get this from enchanting table or by fishing. And what it does, it makes you walk on soul sand and soul soil a lot quicker. I'll show you here with some netherite boots. I'll put them on, and as you can see, we're going quite slow. In fact, it's quite painful. Wow, that took ages. But if we go back to the start and we put on some Soul Speed 3 boots, you can see. Zoom, off I go. That is so much quicker. One downside about Soul Speed is the boots do actually drain when you walk across soul sand or soul soil. Next up is a target block. Target blocks are really, really cool, as when you hit a target block with a projectile, it will give out a redstone pulse. They are crafted by 4 redstone and a hay bale, which again, another use for hay bale. Wow. What's unique about the target block is if you hit it on the edge, it will not give off as strong as a pulse as it will if you hit bullseye. As you can see there, it does not light the lamp. Hit it in the middle, and the lamp lights. I'm excited to see what people make from this. Next change to this update is massive. Look at walls. Look at walls. They no longer look choppy. They look like a wall. As stupid as that sounds, this is my favourite thing about this update. Look at what you can make. I've seen on Java you can do glass panes and iron bars between these. Is that a Java thing only? I don't know. So I'm trying it here and it's not there. I'll put a picture on screen of what it's meant to look like. But you can make some pretty cool structures out of these. I mean, look at this. If only the doors fit. Look at it. Look at it go. So moving on to the final part of the video, we're going to talk about changes. As you can imagine, with an update this big, there's going to be quite a few changes. I've tried to include the main ones here, but there is obviously a lot more, so I'll put a link in the description for you if you want to go and check out the full list. So first up is bells. Obviously if you hit them it makes a bell noise, but now if you hit them with a bow, it'll also make the same noise. Next change is with campfires. If your campfire accidentally goes out by water or anything like that, I can't believe I just missed. I'll be right back. Okay, so moving on like that never happened. If your campfire does go out, you can now relight it with a flame bow. I'm never going to get over that. Ever. Moving on, composters can now take 10 new items, 9 new items which you've seen throughout the video, and they can also now take nether wart. Pistons can now support levers and buttons on tap. Smokers can now be made out of crimson stem and warped stem. And doors can now be placed on full layers of snow. So you put down your 8 layers of snow, and you can put a door on top. If you're still here by now, then 1, I want to shake your hand, and 2, thank you very much. So yeah, that's the end of our Nether update video. I'm sorry it's been a bit long-winded. If you've got any ideas for any more videos I could do, I'd really appreciate that, and any feedback is very, very appreciated. I was thinking of doing a video on what I like, don't like, and what could be improved about this update. That would be awesome. Another thing I want to do is hopefully start up my own Let's Play series. So if you're interested in that, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you feel. But for now, my name is Tarby, and I hope you all have a great day. See you later.